What is up? What is up, my uncles and nieces? It's the Lonely Uncle Podcast. Six. You know that dude in a rap song that's always in the back going, yeah, six, or just kind of, like just doing some kind of hot term and just repeating it. That's what I need in the back. I need some dude going six, because six, no one would ever thought that we'd get here. I hope you had a fantastic week, uncles and nieces, and I'm just happy to be here, and I can't believe, gosh, the winter's coming. I'm so excited, man. So excited. Things pick up right now for my life. I'm a busy person, and it's kind of crazy this time of year, but I like it. I like being busy. I feel like I'm more productive. Hopefully my podcast game keeps going strong and it even elevates, because I just want to get better, because I'm just rocking it here solo. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to address a question, and this question was actually asked by more than one person, and I'm just going to kind of merge it into one, and I'm going to answer it, because I feel like I don't want to lose focus of what this podcast is about, and it's about you. Okay, so this question basically said, one of them was from Kyle, and he said, well, what was the origin of the Lonely Uncle comedic, as far as the origin, just the whole, the existence, where's it come from, the influences. And there was a couple other questions that were kind of merged together, and they said, what is the mindset of Lonely Uncle? They were almost asking what's going on. Try to explain to us, who you are, and again, I think that has to do, I can go and tell a little bit about my past. Now, I'm going to start off and say this because I feel like, besides my supporting family and friends, great friends, and everybody that's just been a part of this ride for a long time. Because let's just be real, okay? I'm 40 years old, okay, and I've been single for a while, and I know, being a single man, I kind of have a stigma, my chest. Hester Prynne had a scarlet letter. My chest, it's got these muscles that are actually just coming out, and that's my scarlet letter. It's just about being ripped, just being cut. That's some of my favorite pickup lines. Those lines like, "You got a Band-Aid? 'Cause I'm cut." I love stuff like that. That's hot, man. I don't understand why that doesn't work on girls. I do it all the time. They just look at me like, where's your money? Do you have any money? And I'm just like, I wrote this joke in like the 2000s. I used to say, this was when George Bush was president. I used to say, George Bush tried to invade me. People are like, why? And I'd say, 'cause I got weapons of mass destruction. And I'd flex, And some people wouldn't laugh. And those people aren't my friends anymore. Okay? But as you can see, like I was going when you become 40, people start, people look at you like, there's something wrong with you. You're not married. They're just like, there's awfully. And despite that, my friends and family have stuck by me, and I appreciate that. How many left swipes on Farmer, or right swipes, the bad swipe of negative. I probably get every day 175 women swipe me, no, not like. And I'm still here. That's perseverance, baby. That's what dreams are made of. That's what dreams are made of. You know, Farmers Single, and Christian Single, and what else am I on? Some other websites that are pretty dope. But anyway, I'm still here. But I want us to give two, to answer the question of the, the who I am as a person, two pop culture references, or two big parts of what I feel like I'm a part of, or what created Jay Rich. First thing, hip hop music, huge part of my life. I remember being in first grade in elementary school when I went to Brentwood. Shout out to Brentwood. And don't try to act like Brentwood ain't got bodies. Bodies were piling up then, and that's why I'm grimy and real. Because my where I grew up, woo! I'm just saying, just saying. But anyway, I remember going to school, and there was just the cool kids in the corner of black dudes. And there's always a couple white dudes that try to be with the black dudes, but they couldn't. They thought they were hip hop. They thought they were street. And some of them were, some of them were not. Some were just dudes, couldn't rap. But anyway, I wasn't in that group because I wasn't cool enough. But I just remember just observing and just knowing that was cool. You had those kids over there, and then all the other kids, you had the metalheads. And I'm not talking about the classic rock, like, I like Journey, wow, that guitar solo when Bon Jovi is really cool. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Iron Maiden. I'm talking about Metallica. I'm talking about the real, the real picking, That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So I knew what was cool, and I would just sit back and observe because I was in the table in the middle, like looking both ways, like, man, these people are cool. And I just studied their mannerisms. I remember listening to Dougie Fresh, Run DMC, Kool Moe Dee, just listening to them rhyme, hearing, watching the videos on MTV when they played videos, and then just taking in the culture and just studying it and just feeling very, very good. Just that. I felt good about it. And I learned what cool was. I really did, because I wanted to be a part of it. And I was never in it, but always hovered around it. And I studied it. And I realized what was cool. And I feel I dedicate, that to, just my, growing up, listening to hip hop music. I listened to hip hop music all my life. Listen to hip hop music today. And it's a big part. And it just defines what cool is, And I picked up on it, and I just apply it to everything in life. Second thing, and stick with me with this, okay? A big influence on my comedic presence, watching 80s and 90s professional wrestler give promos. When professional wrestlers gave promos, genius. You want to laugh, you watch Ric Flair in his NWA days give a promo. I will never forget watching those and just knowing that this was absolutely comedic gold. I remember one time, so back in the day, NWA, I saw him at Dorn Arena. Okay, that's where I saw him. And I saw him at a beat middle school. Like, NWA toured at your middle school probably, that you went to back in the day in the 80s. And Ric Flair would be on that card, okay? They would have a middle school girls basketball game, clear it out, and Ric Flair would walk in with a $500 suit and $600 gaiters, and he'd wrestle that night, okay? And he gave it his all. He put on a show, baby. And that's what I look at Ric Flair now, and I know he's big time, baby. But I remember those days when he was there for me at the middle school in Dorton Arena. But I remember one time I was watching it on the TV, and I remember he gave a promo, and he was talking about a guy in the stands. And he looked at him and he took off his gator because he got in the camera and he was, woo, doing it all, because he's a legend. And he pointed out his gator and he looked at that man. He looked at that man and he said, "This shoe is worth your entire inheritance." Oh, God, are you kidding me? And you looked at the guy that Rick was looking at and you're like, yep, he's right. His left gator was worth than that man's entire life. And he let him know it. And just genius. I mean, even as a small, fan, I just knew that he was onto something. Just that was magnificent. And I continued to watch it. Incredible promos. Rick Rude, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Rock brought it back to life and gave some of the best promos ever as a heel. And just look back, just Google Ric Flair, old NWA, and it is just so raw and just pure comedic geniuses. They were the funniest people ever. And people are like, the wrestling's well, whatever. I don't care about it was the spectacle, it was the show. And I honestly believe that those two things those two pop culture like references and parts played a huge part, in who I am today. I mean, because I'll be just like, I'll just roll up in a room. I won't even know these people. Somebody makes, what do you want to eat? And somebody says, I want seafood. And I'll be like, oh, and I'll just come in, and I'll be like, I eat fish, toss salad, and make rap ballads. I just have these references, hip hop references in my head, and I'll just unleash it on these people who don't even know any better. And they're like, who's this guy? Or I might just walk in a room and be like, abomatomically, Sophocles' philosophies and hypotheses. Can't define how I'll be dropping these. And people would just be like, oh, what is that about? And that's just the way I roll, baby. Those two parts right there, a big part, I feel like, of what it's all about. So I wanted to address that question. I thought it was a very thoughtful question. And I wanted to give y'all a little something. I got a lot of big things planned, baby, for this podcast, and I'm excited. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, okay? Back in the days when I was a teenager, before I had status and before I had a pager, you could find that abstract listening to hip hop. My pops used to say it reminded him